All right, and we are now live, running both an Acela Express with some vintage cars, as well as a mixed freight and a street car. Hopefully some people will join in soon here. Just quickly set it to live chat as to not miss anybody's messages out there. Whole bunch of people joining in right now. Welcome, everyone. Can you run the big boy? The age-old question. Yeah, we can definitely get that going. I'll run it in a little bit, though, because that's a pretty popular request. I'm not missing this live stream. I love your videos. Thank you. Hello from California. How's your day been? Not too bad. How about yours? Hello from Maine. What about G-Scale? We can run something G-Scale. Greetings from North Carolina. Upstate New York. Need to clean the layout. Yeah, don't we all? Can you run something Norfolk Southern? Yeah, we can do that. I'll get the G-Scale train going first here. I didn't know you have an Acela. I've got 2 of these engines plus a dummy unit. As for a Norfolk Southern, I have an engine. I haven't run it in a while. I think it's an SD40-2. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, it's got an older coupler, but I think we can make that work. So cool, but very expensive for G-Scale. Yeah, exactly. If you're in a budget model railroading, G-Scale is probably not a great scale to get into. Even buying 2 lengths of track for this set, which was gifted to me, I think was like 70 bucks or something. With HO, you could probably, I don't know, get 70 feet of track for 70 bucks. Run something British. Yeah, we can do that. Where'd you get the NS unit from? I've had this thing in my collection for a really long time. I actually got it in an eBay lot back in 2013. I found the lot. It was a really good deal. It was like 50 bucks for, I think, 7 different locomotives, including some IHC engines. There were some cheaper engines, like some Lifelikes, but a lot of Athearn stuff, and this was one of them. I ordered it up. It took a month to come in transit, and I was disappointed that it had taken so long, but I remember when it showed up, I was really happy because I had just started school and a couple bad days in the beginning, and then this showed up and it made my day. How many times did you shop on eBay? Too many times to count. eBay has been a big part of my life. When I was a kid, I used to browse on eBay. I wouldn't buy stuff. I didn't like have an account, but I would just look for things. And it was a real meme. Like whenever I found something in my life, I'd be like, yeah, I found it on eBay. I'm working on building a CSX collection. Do you have any budget locomotives you would recommend? The Bachmann Spectrum Dash 8s seem to go pretty cheap. I was able to buy a CSX Dash 8 for $30. Now, this was back in 2013. Things were a little cheaper back then. But from what I understand, the Spectrum engines from that era were not worth a whole lot, so you might still be able to find one at a good price. And they're okay. Not excellent engines, but, you know, they'll get the job done. I just bought a Hornby B12 steam locomotive with a 70s chuffing sound unit. James May would be proud. I found a big boy for $20 on eBay. For an auction, or I'll buy it now? Have you repaired the two-story trolley? I haven't yet. Does all of your equipment use the same couplers? Not really. I still have some stuff that has horn hook couplers. A lot of my stuff has knuckle couplers. Ideally, everything would have KD knuckle couplers, but for cheaper equipment, I'll usually just throw a Bachmann Easy Mate coupler on it. How's the big boy doing? It's fine. I got it back up and running again. How's Nerf Cat? Our Nerf Kitty is faring a little rough. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around. We took him to a vet, and the pancreatitis has gotten really bad. He's pretty much not eating anything right now. Hopefully he'll make it longer, but, you know, he's 17, 18, maybe 19 years old, so, you know, he's had a good run, and I hope he can live as long as he can, but, you know, there's just the realities of life sometimes. I just started using knuckle couplers. I love them. Yeah, they can be solid, especially the KD ones. I really like the KD whisker couplers. They're pretty expensive, but they last forever. Did Amtrak not get funding for the Acela cars? Not on this layout. This is like an alternative future where Amtrak is still using 70s era passenger cars, but they did get the engines. I'm gonna miss Catzilla versus the layout. Absolutely, I will too. You should get a custom Nerf Cat train. I'd like that. I'll have to do something. Love your channel. Thank you. What do you like most about Mahano/IHC products? Mostly the reliability. I just haven't had problems with many other products. I did have one steam engine where the metal tire separated from the wheel, but I glued that back on and it's been fine ever since. And other than that, every IHC/Mahano engine I've ever had has been super reliable. They weren't terribly expensive, which is also nice. The only thing I don't like about them is they don't have great pulling capacity. And, you know, their detail is not, like, 100% accurate. But if you just want, like, some good budget steam engines, they're definitely the way to go. Could you run the Shikansen Zero Series or the Brass Daylight? I don't know where the Shikansen's at, but I could definitely run the Daylight for you. I took a plunge into mainline tooling. Those early split chassis are awful. Split chassis engines, I don't really care what brand it is. What's your favorite locomotive? The Hiawatha. Let's see if we can get the Daylight hauling the Amtrak cars here. What would you say is a good starter set? If you're limited on cash, I would try to just get a really cheap Bachmann starter set. You can find some for like 130 bucks on Amazon. It doesn't really matter which one. Pick one you like, but I would try to avoid the really expensive Bachmann starter sets, the ones that are like 190 bucks. If you have 190 bucks, get yourself the Walther set. Get like the Walther's rail flyer sets. Those are pretty darn solid. I feel like you're not going to go wrong with one of those. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Trainman1998. Please run some BNSF. Yeah, sure. Let me just get the Daylight on first. Price being $1,500 for a 10-car set. I'm missing 6 cars for it to be complete. Yeah, that is a steep cost. Is that the GS4 you restored a while back? Yeah, it's the same one. I'm moving in with my parents. I want to finally make a layout of 5x8 because I have an Acela. A 5x8 would be perfect. If you have the space for one, that'd be excellent. If you can get 24 radius curves on that, it will run terrific. I like the trolley setup. Thank you. I'm very happy with it myself. Have you ever considered having multiple cameras set up during your live stream? That way you can get close-up train spot shots and such. That would be ideal. I'd have to get some different software because right now I'm just using the native YouTube app for live streaming, but it's not impossible. See what happens once I get into the new place. $10K to 200,000 subscribers. Yeah, we'll see. You never know. J Cure, welcome. SMT, do you think $60 for 2 Athearn Genesis 60-foot box cars is good? If they're in really good shape, maybe 30 bucks a car. Depends if that's in US or Canadian dollars, though. I ask a favor, if you could show your control setup. I'm at a friend's house and some people run trains. Yeah, for sure. So I've got a few different controllers. A lot of people ask me if I run DC or DCC. I run both. So this right here is my DCS51. This is my DCC controller. Right beside that, I've got an MRC 9500 series. And these are hooked up separately from each other through a DP-DT switch. For the inside line, I've got a second controller, which is a Sound and Power 7000. It's very similar to this controller, just minus the gauges. And there's a second double pull, double throw switch, so I can actually control what powers which line. So for example, if I stop this for a second here, if I shift this to the same, everything runs off one controller. And vice versa, if I switch this to DCC, every locomotive on the layout runs off one controller. So I can run every single thing off of one of these two controllers, or I can run everything off one of these two controllers on this line, and then something else with the other line. I gotta rewatch your video to run both DC and DCC. Since I got a new locomotive, I couldn't pass it, but it's DCC. Well, if you've got a good DC controller, it should work with your DC system. Like, most decoders will allow DC power to run through them. Is DCC harder to wire than a DC layout? Okay, so there are some people that use DC and they have electrical blocks. That's somewhat complicated to wire. If you're just running two wires to your track, there's no more difficulty than DCC. Like, it's two wires from your controller that connect to your track. Same thing. The only spot where you have to keep in mind you might have to do more wiring is not in the track, but like, let's say you have a bunch of DC engines and you want to run them on DCC. Ideally, you'd want to put a decoder in every single one of them. And if you do that, you're going to have to do wiring inside the engine. So if you go with DCC, it's not so much that you're going to be adding more wiring to your layout. It's more that you're going to be adding more wiring to your locomotives. And if you want a really reliable connection, you can add bus wiring, which basically just means you have a set of wires which follow the whole line, and then you run wires up to your track along the way just so that there's consistent power. Personally, I don't do that. I just have most of the joints soldered together, and that seems to work pretty well. But sometimes when people talk about DCC wiring, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about adding bus wiring, but it makes no difference for bus wiring whether you have DCC or DC. I feel like I got a good deal on my Tenshoto Shikansen for $500. However, I've seen some 6-car trains go for $1,700 and a 16-car set for $3,500. Yeah, they can be worth a lot of money. I was really lucky with my set because I bought it and then the seller gave me a bunch of free cars because they were all kind of crushed in a previous deal they had. You know, which means I don't really have realistic equipment because it's been damaged, but I didn't really care about that. But yeah, if you want to buy the realistic Japanese stuff, it can be a lot of money. Wrong, you need drop wires every 3 feet. I mean, will it increase reliability? It might, but if there were real voltage problems, like everybody's asked me, like, how do you not have voltage drops? It's because all the joints are soldered. Like, you know, if there were real voltage issues, you know, and there's resistance building, you would see this climb as it went around the layout. It doesn't go up. I mean, these rails are way thicker than a lot of wires out there, so you don't need a joiner every 3 feet. You know, if you really want to be 100% certain that you're going to have reliability, you can do that, but it's not a necessity. I want to make a pond on my layout. Is there any techniques you recommend? Sorry for bothering. Well, it's no bother to ask questions. You can buy scenic water. That stuff works pretty well for making a pond. Definitely make sure you have whatever area you're going to build the pond in very sealed off, though, because just like real water, before the acrylic sets, it runs, and it's going to take a long time for it to set. So just make sure, like if you have a river and there's an angle, just make sure everything is really well sealed off. Like it basically has to be watertight before you add the spread. HO Japanese stuff, especially the Shikansen, is very expensive. Thankfully, some companies such as Endo are making Shikansens in plastic along with other companies. Well, that's good. Hopefully they can get the cost down. You could use resin epoxy. Before I ever worked with resin and epoxy, I would recommend resin for making a lake, but I've done fiberglassing before. And I tell you what, once you mix the resin with the setting agent, that stuff makes so many bad fumes. You do not want to have that in your house. If you're going to leave your house for like 2 days and go to the cottage, maybe then you can use it. But resin is nasty stuff, I tell you what. Like, you need to be in a really well-ventilated area. What model railroading magazines do you recommend? I don't have one in particular. You know, Model Railroader does have good information, and you can find old Model Railroader magazines pretty much for free. There are some hobby shops which have stacks of them, and they'll give them away for free. But there's no one in particular that I recommend. I wouldn't ignore them. Sometimes you can find good information in them, but I don't know. I actually unsubscribed from Model Railroader years ago. I just found it was getting kind of repetitive. SMT, do you think you'll wire in the crossing signals or gates? Eventually, I would like to get some crossing gates on this section right here. Can you run an Intercity 125? Yeah, I could try to do that. Can't remember which one of these things I got working. I'm guessing it wasn't that one. Are you going to collect any more O-scale equipment? If something special comes along, I will. I can't over-collect O-scale because it takes up a lot of space, but I really like working with O-scale. It's definitely one of the easiest scales to do repairs on. How do you get the lights inside the buildings? I'll share that in a second, but let me just see if I can get one of these going. This one doesn't work either. Let's see if this will get the job done. Okay, that's a good one. Everyone, welcome. The Chloe. Here, Chloe, you can take over the live stream while we get this other train going.
Sure. Oh, wait, the camera's crooked. Getting better at this, I think. Hello. Hi. Hey SMT, how are you doing today? I was wondering if you could show how to use the power and sound power pack. I'm buying one and would like some advice.
Okay. Before I get the British train on, I'll show you the Sound and Power. The Sound and Power has 6 sets of terminals. 2 terminals go to a speaker, which it should come with. The other 2 are for DC power, which this outputs. The third is accessories. And yeah, there's really nothing too special about it. You just turn up your volume and it will just kind of follow whatever you do. And then you've got rate, which is just the speed of the train. But it will also adjust based on how much throttle you're actually giving the set. So really simple stuff. Somebody else, before I was working with the British stuff, was asking about my lighting system. I use a 5 amp, 12 volt power supply. And these are actually automotive lights. Courtesy lights, you can find them on Amazon really cheap. They're the same bulbs you actually put in your car. And I just soldered those to wires and those go to the 5 amp power supply. And these things use like 1/10 of an amp. They're very efficient. But the thing I like about them is that they output light in every direction. So it makes your buildings nice and bright. Make sure you go with a warm glow. You don't want your buildings to look cold. You want them to have a warm glow, especially if they're older. Did you get things squared with the city with your house? Not yet. Still fighting with those guys. They're just not communicating. They've just gone radio silent. Still need to figure out whether or not the buildings are compliant or not. They are. They're, they predate the bylaws, but they're just being really difficult in terms of not getting back to me. So we'll see. I'm very determined to move in there. So if I haven't heard back from them in the next week, we're gonna, I think, try to escalate things. But for now, I just want to let things roll for a moment. We'll see if they get back. And then if they don't, then it's time to figure out a plan B. Speaking of automotive lights, I'm currently making a custom, with the help of my neighbor, with some 1990s Federal Signal Vector police lights mounted to a helmet. That's cool. Best of luck. Thank you, I need it.
SMT, I need some help with a new Riverossi Baltimore and Ohio 040 steam locomotive I got.
Well, if you want to send me an email, I'll try to help you with that.
What do you think the best track radius is? Not for space, but just in general.
As wide as you can make it. 22 is like the minimum. If you have to use 18 radius, it's fine, but definitely go with 22. And if you can use 24, that's great. Anything higher than 24, you're going to be able to run just about anything out there, so you don't have to worry about it.
Are you gonna make a Christmas train competition this year?
Probably so.
Sorry.
I'm gonna be an insecurity guard. The South Park reference.
It's funny that I have the exact church and red train station you have. The church?
I feel like everyone
This
has
one?
this set.
Oh no, that one. Oh no, this one. Okay. You guys doing anything for Halloween or Christmas this year? Haven't really planned yet, to be honest.
I'm just focused on moving into my house. Alright, let's see how well my brand new state-of-the-art British train runs.
Is that brand new for real?
It was brand new probably in 1980.
Oh. But brand new to you.
Yeah, it's new to me.
What's the plan with the layout once you move in?
Just to get it over there, and then once it's in there, I can do whatever I want. You know, we can expand it. Anything. There's probably going to be some crazy stuff going on with the layout.
G-scale is still running. The G-scale is the big one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to make Nerf Cat a statue in your town. I agree with that.
That'd be great.
How are you going to transfer the layout to your new house? Chop it up into little pieces and then reassemble it.
Maybe with a 3D printer we could make a cat.
A Nerf Cat,
and then
yeah.
paint it or something.
Yeah. Paint it sook gray.
Yeah.
See if I can find more British engines to haul that thing.
Start over, LOL. I think he means starting the whole thing. That's years of work, guys. I wasn't there for that, but...
Well, it's not an irrational idea. Like, practically starting all over would be a good idea. Like, just take all the buildings and, you know, salvage some tracks, so on and so forth. But I've got too much attachment to this layout. Like, you know, it means a lot to me.
Oh, hey Harrison, from my sons. Uh-oh, wait, I lost it.
Uh-oh.
Sons Theo and Felix, they're 7 and 2 and love watching your videos. They love trains. Can they get a shout out, please? They're watching before bed. Oh.
Yeah, thanks for watching, Theo and Felix. I appreciate it. Theo and Felix, cool names.
Howdy, Harrison, Chloe. Hope you both are having a great day. A good day. Could we get some Conrail action sometime tonight?
Exactly.
What's that?
Some sweet Conrail stuff.
They say thank you. Theo and Felix. Big smiles over here. Aw. I'm having a bit of a problem with my lighting. I'm using all the same builds and some of them are brighter than others. This is only on one of their circuits. Any advice?
Hold on a hot minute.
Okay, hold on.
If it's an LED bulb, just wrap some tape around it. A lot of the lights I have in these buildings, they're too bright. See what I done here? Just wrap some stuff around it. The only thing you want to make sure is don't do that with an incandescent bulb, because bulbs need to dissipate heat, and if you restrict that too much, it could overheat and burn out the bulb, or if it's an incandescent, maybe a potential fire hazard. So just make sure you're not working with anything hot. LEDs make very little heat. So that's just one thing you can do if they're really bright.
Oh, I just made it worse. I've been in the hobby for 4 years, and you're the reason why I'm into model trains. Keep up the good work. Where'd you go? SMT disappeared. Oh.
What?
Hold on, I need to find the comment again.
Been in the hobby for 4 years, and
you're the reason why I'm into model trains. Keep up the good work.
oh, thank you. If you could see any train, which would you see? Either the big boy or 4449. You run your Bowser Alco unit? Yeah, sure.
Love watching you fix up those old model engines.
That's what it's all about.
Hi, Charlie. Have you ever heard of Caltrain?
Scale trains?
Caltrain?
I've got some scale trains.
No, Caltrain.
Cal train?
Like C-A-L.
Train, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
I might have one.
You can get a 12V basic, a dimmer controller on Amazon to adjust the lights. They are pretty cheap. Hi, I love your videos. Thank you. Well, thank you for SMT.
I think this is the only Caltrain engine I have. It's a lifelike, not very realistic, but we'll run it anyway.
Where's
Mavy
Mav?
Dog? He might still be up. Let's see if we can...
Do you want me to go get him?
No, it's okay. I'll go get
Okay.
our Mavy Dog.
Mavidoo! Hi!
Here comes our Mav.
Where's that goofy Aussie? Here he is. Whoopalai. Mav, say hi!
Yeah, Mav, say hi. He doesn't like it.
Oh, he's
What do you think,
scared.
there, dog?
It's okay. It's okay. Aw, you're okay. You're okay. Whoop. You take control.
What do you think there, dog?
Is this scary train? Go see the train. Here, bye. Maverick. Oh, because we're getting the treats of the builder.
Here, use some bribery.
Ah. Look at the train. Good boy.
That's a good old dog.
Now. Good boy.
That's a good dog.
He's not scared anymore. He's not scared anymore. Hey, puppy. Where's Goose? I think you're talking about Sook.
Goose? I don't have a goose.
We don't have a goose. Mammy? Say hi. Come here. Come here. Sit. Oh, wait, hold on. Mammy! Look at that face.
Top Gun, yeah, we got a Top Gun Maverick.
He's still unsure about the train.
My LEDs are getting hot and have black marks. I'm feeding them too much volt. Yeah, I'd imagine so. LEDs should be very cool. They shouldn't really get warm. I have a running 1950s Hudson and a vintage Santa Fe. You're one of the reasons I haven't sold it. Oh, that's good to hear.
Look at that.
That's a big old dog. I have the same kind of dog. Yeah, the good old Australian Shepherd. I can't say they're too heat resistant. During the summer, he seems to always be breathing heavily. Yeah, some Australian California dog. Used to take them hunting on weekends. Well, it's funny because even with the family, he'll try to like herd. Yeah. But we were at a friend's place and they have a cattle barn right beside, and he was trying to herd the cows. It's so funny, a dog that didn't grow up with cattle. Yeah. You know, he has that in his instincts.
Well, also, if we go to a store and one of us goes in the store, one of us stays with him in the car, he doesn't like that the other person left. Everybody at the same place.
Yeah, he's a very particular dog. I was waiting for you to start a live stream because I like you being live. Well, glad to hear it. He sounds like a bit of a drum, doesn't he? I've got it made. He's a lucky dog, yeah. Australian Shepherd, yep. Should get the meow down here.
Yeah. I think he's in your room.
I'll go haul him down.
Okay. The cat is gonna go say hi. Oh, where's Steve? Maverick's coming. He went back up. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Norman Corey. Hello, Harrison. Hello, Chloe. What a beautiful dog. Maybe you can get him some treats with a super chat. Oh, thank you. I'm sure he's gonna appreciate that. Grew up with 2 Aussie sheeps. Aw. That's what they breed them for, working dogs. Yeah. Meow is coming next. Oh, Mav, you're back! Where did Harry go? Where did Harry go? He's coming? Yes, he is a mini. Oh.
We got our meow.
Did you get him alone?
I brought him down with his favorite couch cushion.
He's like, you woke me up.
Nice. He's a little bit of a grumpy cat.
Are you jealous?
What do you think, Meow?
He looks very unimpressed.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit unimpressed. Woke him from his beauty sleep. But... yeah. How old is she/he? Well, that's the question. We got him in 2009, but he was a fully grown cat, so he had to have at least been like a year old, but he could be older than that, you know?
Somebody said that's an old kitty.
Yeah, he's an old kitty. He's an old meow.
We have an old kitty and a young puppy.
Yeah.
Well, young.
Cat looks tired.
It's almost, actually,
well, I just woke him up.
Yeah. Not happy.
What is it? What do you want? You want scratches?
He may be old, but he's still handsome. Yes.
Yeah, he's a very handsome cat.
We had our last cat for over 20 years.
That's a pretty good time.
Oh,
Something has stalled out. I don't know what derailed.
Stay there, man.
We're gonna bring the chair between the two of you.
Must be the trolley. Oh, we got a super chat.
Oh yeah, you got a $20
From Norman Corey. Hello, Harrison and Chloe. What a beautiful dog. Maybe we can get him some treats with the super chat.
Yeah, I read this one when you were gone. I forgot to tell you.
Did he get treats?
No, actually no. Sorry. Where are the treats?
Right here. Try to give them some to Meow as well. I mean, he might eat them.
Sit. Paw. Paw. Good boy. Other paw? No, other paw. The two of them. Good boy. Okay. Good boy.
Meow. You're not eating now?
You scared me. I said down, not whisper.
He's trying.
Oh no.
I'm putting in for the cat treats.
Huh?
Jay Cure says I'm putting it in for the cat treats. I'll get Nerf Kitty some delectables.
Sit. Sit. Up. Sit. 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 Okay. Here. Come here. Sit. Good boy. Is this problem? Oh yeah, he loves it.
Okay, Kat, what do you think? Jay Cure has bought you a cat treat.
Oh, good kitty.
All you want, cat? He's a good cat. Get Cat some beef feeders, lickables. He goes nuts. As our creamsicle does. Would I spend $130 on a Bachmann Master HO scale set? I know the set is bad, but it's the cheapest one I got. Well, yeah, $130 is not a horrible price for a train set in these days. Again, like, it's part of the reason I recommend the Bachmann sets, even though I'm not a huge fan of Bachmann. They do make the cheapest train sets, which is important. Do you have any KCS locomotives? None out of the box. I did buy one. My cats are huge scaredy cats, but sometimes they're interested in watching the models. North American Films, thank you for becoming a member for 8 months. Run a Hudson, yeah, sure.
What's he doing?
Oh yeah, you spotted them, didn't you? Hi, please.
He's like, I know what's in that bag right there. If I just pulled that right down, I could have all of it to myself.
I'm doing double here.
You run a GG1? Yeah, sure. For some reason, the Hudson is not running. The headlight is lighting up, but it's not going. Trolley keeps derailing. Somebody asked me to run a GG1 earlier. Maybe I'll see if I can find one of those with horn hooks. How much did that Hudson cost? It was $100, but I bought it with a 3-car consist, so I don't know how much the engine itself was. How's the new house coming along? I was talking about that earlier, having some problems with the city, but I think soon overcome them. I am, however, getting a little bit tired of the trolley derailing here. What's going on, Wolf?
Handsome dog and you're the most handsome cat.
Can we have a New Haven 060? I don't know if I have one of those North American Rail fan, but thank you for the super chat. If there's something else you want me to run, I can definitely throw it on the layout. Can you run a CN 484? Yeah, sure. Anything New Haven, sure. Is that an F40 on the benchwork? Yeah. It's a California train. Anyway, here you go, North American Films. Hopefully this guy will start. It is an old Tyco. Nah, no problem. Has Nerf Cat ever broken something on your layout? Nothing major. He's knocked over a lot of trees and stuff, but that's about it. I was wondering, the grass on my layout gets dusty and it's hard to clean without damaging the layout. How do I clean it? What I usually do is, if your grass is glued down, you just take a vacuum cleaner and with very low pressure, make sure you get figures and anything. You don't want to accidentally vacuum up off the layout first. You just vacuum it. But what I usually do is, after a certain time, even after vacuuming it, it gets dusty. Just apply more grass. Let's put more glue, add another layer of grass, or strip off the old layer of grass and replace it, because it is a problem. But if your grass is really well attached to your layout, usually you can vacuum it pretty well, and that will it will hold up for a while.
Not good for you.
Year and a half ago, oh, never mind. Comment got deleted. It took until this year, but most of Caltrain's F40 are in Peru. Oh, wow. I did hear recently that apparently some intercity 125 locomotives are in Mexico. So for the first time ever, we've actually got Canadian and British locomotives working alongside each other.
Yeah,
Come here. Leave the cat.
Recently retired, have been a scale plane modeler my entire adult life. Really digging your train stuff. It's your fault. I've been watching your videos all week. Well, that's great to hear. Honestly, too, I think one of the great parts of model railroading, I mean, I'm sure you could argue this for other types of modeling, is that you can combine your hobbies. So even though trains are like my primary interest, I was really interested in an old Hershey factory in Smith Falls, so I built it. And there are tons of other things around the layout which relate to other things in my life. So, like, for any of you out there who are into model aircraft, if you can find something that's HO scale or at least similar enough, incorporate it with your layout. There's nothing wrong with that. Have planes flying over. Build an aircraft museum or have an airport or something. Like, that's one of the wonderful parts about this hobby, is that you can have trains and also just add all kinds of other things that you like. Trains, planes, and automobiles. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the same goes for cars. Like, I really like the old Malaise era cars. So, like, this actually looks a lot like my car. It's a Chevy Caprice. I have a Regency 98, but very similar body style. And, you know, as much as people love to say that modern cars all look the same, if you look at, like, the Ford LTD and, you know, the Chevy Caprice and stuff, they all looked a lot like this. So yeah, it's a thing that's been going on for a while. The Chevy Caprice is great. Yeah, it's a cool car. Closest HO scale plane would be 1 in 72. That's not that bad. I feel like with model aircraft, you could probably justify it too, because it's far enough. Like, if you have it in flight, it's high enough from the layout. It's harder to judge the scale. Because cars, if they're not to scale, they stand out beside the buildings. You have a person in chat that keeps spamming the same comment. Well, any moderators can give them a timeout if you want. There I go, I made some adjustments. Why do you use plumbing solder on your layout? Is it better than electrical solder? I haven't noticed a difference, to be honest. flux matters more than the solder. Less high heat, lead-free. Yeah, well, lead-free is very important to me. I really do not like working with lead. Like, there's some old locomotives I have, and there's just lead in them. You're not going to get that out of there, but I really hate lead. Have you ever worked on a Lindsay model? I got one infected with zinc rot, and a lot of the drive is very unusual. I've never worked with a Lindsay model that's complete, but I do have some Varney locomotives with Lindsay motors, the 7-pole motors, which are really sought after. The 7-pole motors are great, very well built things, but I can't really speak for Lindsay models themselves. Zinc pest is very random. I mean, it was really just a issue of the time. There's not too many modern manufacturers that have that. Scale Trains or Athearn Genesis, which is better? Both good brands. I think that Athearn Genesis would probably be, maybe slightly more reliable in the long run. But Scale Trains is going to have the upper hand in terms of detail. I think Athearn is really lagging in terms of detail. They're not bad, like they're not ugly locomotives, but I think Scale Trains definitely has the edge in terms of innovation. The dumbest thing I ever believed in model railroading before I got my layout is that derailments are something rare. Yeah, they're frequent, and even on a real railroad, if you talk to anybody like works in a rail yard, they'll tell you that derailments are not super uncommon. Would you ever add overhead catenary on your layout? Maybe to the industrial side, but probably not to the entire layout. My complaint about Athearn Genesis is that their models can't pull that much. My new Genesis GP9s are amazing models, yet fairly weak. I haven't had that problem with them. I mean, to be fair, I'm also not always towing a very large amount of cars, but yeah, my main thing with Athearn Genesis is I just feel like they're just reusing a lot of stuff that even dates back to the blue box days, and I mean that it's a good design, but there's just not much innovation. Oh, he's back. I thought.
I was in a litter box.
I'm amazed it doesn't reek down here. What do you think, Nerf Cat? Yeah, we've still got Wolfgang, Amadeus, Mozart. Full house, yeah. Yeah, Nerf Dog has got this funny thing. Nap, come back. Okay, never mind what I was saying.
He's supposed to dance.
Nav! Nav! Oh, he's coming back. Here, watch this. This is funny stuff. Nav, it's time to dance. Nav, it's time to dance.
He's like, but where's my treat?
Math. Bang! Bang! All right, Nerf Dog. Yeah, whisper. Whisper? Whisper. Whisper? Yeah. Good dog. Where's Nerf Cat? He's here. Here's our Meow. Nerf Cat's still living. He's not the most lively cat. I'm quite worried about him, but yeah, he's still around. Shepherd, yeah, an Australian Shepherd. I love dogs and cars. Dogs see humans as food dispensers. I mean, why wouldn't they? Where's the goofy Aussie? Running O-Gauge, I have a 1950s vintage Hudson and a vintage Santa Fe set. I just got them to run. Oh, congratulations.
Out of there.
My dog, an old Yorkie, behaves exactly like a cat. She's too chill. I take care of a husky who's a bit too energetic, almost acts like her teacher. What was the streetcar you were running? I think it was a vintage Brill streetcar. I like the video of repairing your grandmother's locomotive. I'm so happy that that all worked out. Yeah, you can bring him there if you want. Yeah. Chloe is going to bring the Meow back upstairs so we can go to sleep for the night. What do you think, Meow? What do you think? Meow.
Good night. Oh, sure. Cat?
What do you think, Meow? Meow.
Huh? Yeah. Can I go back to bed?
Just like the Garfield movie. Yeah, this is our Garfield. What do you think, Meow? Are you into Australian trains? Absolutely. I have a few of them. I don't know, maybe Meow really does want to just run trains. If he's happy down here. His pillow, he's like, get him the pink life jacket over there. He likes that thing for some reason. Other way. And I got an Australian engine running. seems pretty happy down here.
No, it's kind of like yeah, that is correct.
What do you think, you know?
You like it?
Steam engine derailed.
He stays down here. Are you going to bring him down the bed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Maddie.
Come here. Come here. Where'd you go? Come here.
Oh, hold on a moment. Well, that's not good. To use reverse aging? What do you mean? Did you manage to fix the Union Pacific, the Markling Union Pacific Big Boy? I haven't unboxed that yet. What's your opinion on Bachmann Easy Track? It's okay. It will get the job done, but it's definitely not my favorite. run a train through mountain layout. Half the mountain layout has been disconnected for the move, so I'm gonna definitely get stuff operational there again, but it's probably gonna be whenever I move into the new house. Do you have a Union Pacific DD40? I'm pretty sure I do. Let me have a look for it. Bring everybody else along for the search for that. But I was pretty sure I'd bought one in an eBay lot. I mean, I have a DD40 AX, but I think I have a DD40/DD35. Just need to find it. But I was pretty sure it was somewhere on this shelf. Unless I put it over here somewhere. Let me check on the bottom shelf here. Could be down here. Yeah. You need to get a better display cabinet for the new house. That would be ideal. Seem to have a no start condition. That's no good. And now it's shorted. There we go. I think we're getting close. It's about time you had Thomas the Tank. They make good money now. Yeah, well, I'm sure you can make a good earning there if you're making Thomas videos, but I'm not interested in the Thomas the Tank stuff. I grew up with the show. I love it a lot. I just don't really feel the need to add it to my layout. The bugger doesn't want to start. What brand would you say you know most about? Athearn Blue Box. Although this one is being a little difficult to work with. It will run. I think there's just some weird stuff going on with this light fixture here. See if that gets it to start. Yes. Blue box is just run except for this one. It's just shorted. Yeah, there we go. Get a chew toy for Nerf Dog. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. What engine is this? It's a DD35. Time to solder some wire to the motor in trucks. Yeah, that would fix it for good. How about a shunter on the streetcar line? Yeah, I think we can do that. See if this guy will do it. Yep. When are you gonna move into the new house? Hopefully soon. Don't have a set date, but I think it's gonna be within October. Do you ever get the Canadian Confederation train? Do you know who made it? Do you think it's good quality? I don't know anything about it, to be honest. What time is it for you right now? 9:50. Are you going to make changes to your layout? Fundamentally, I think it's going to be very similar, at least for the beginning, but the new basement has a lot of space, so I am thinking about maybe adding some new sections to the layout. Have some bridges running between them or something. We'll see. I'm 3 hours earlier. Well, I have family in California, so yeah, I know all about the time difference. If you had a Z-scale train, where would you place it? I actually do have one, but I have thought about maybe adding something to the farm, like a little ride-on train for everyone. I don't think I've ever seen the other side where the bridge leads. Yeah, so this is like sort of the industrial side, and then this is like the deep country, like hills and all that. Sort of like, I don't know, rural Pennsylvania. I'm sure whatever you do with the layout will be great. I'm looking forward to it. I think there's a lot of potential in the new space. "3 a.m. in England." Wow. Some people are up late. Is that a Kentucky Fried Chicken? Yeah. Yeah, vintage lifelike KFC set. The DD 35 passenger train, that's the one. What's your favorite locomotive? The Hiawatha. Where do you keep your rolling stock? I have a few storage bins under the layout over there. I store a lot of the rolling stock there. Some of it is stored in the freight yard or on other lines, and then I also have some storage in those bins right there. The real DD35 is in Iowa Interstate. I didn't know they had it. Why is Hornby not popular in Canada? I think mostly just because they don't sell a ton of stuff for the Canadian market. I mean, British railroading has a presence in Canada. Like, there are a lot of Canadian train shows I go to, and they have at least 1 or 2 British layouts, and there's usually a few vendors, some of whom are exclusively selling British stuff. So it's definitely around here, but I just don't think it has as big a presence just because, you know, if they're not making Canadian models, I just don't think that there's much an appeal for the market. But you do see it. Would be great to have a yard in the new house. Yeah, for sure. I hope I can build a new freight yard. Does Nerf Cat still get on the layout? Not as of lately. Like a month ago he was, but he's a tired boy. I don't know why this stalled. How old is Nerf Cat? At least 17, if not older. Hornby costs too much. Well, yeah, it's an expensive brand, but I mean, I feel like you could say the same for any other model railroad brand these days. Marklin is just as expensive. Yeah, exactly. I like to see you start fresh. I know. A lot of people would love to see this layout just gone, like just brand new layout, but I'm very attached to this thing. There's going to be new additions, though. Definitely going to be kind of different from this setup, but this, at least these 2 tables, I think, are going to remain exactly the same, with the exception of rebuilding that yard. Anyway, I think I'm going to finish off the live stream here. Thank you all so much for joining in this evening. I'll read a few more comments before we totally end it off. The one on the track is a blue box. Yeah. The layout is awesome. Definitely keep it. I'm glad to hear that. Is your scenery glued to foam or plywood? Parts of the layout are foam, but a lot of it is made with a material called homosote, which is used for like pin boards and stuff like that. It's very similar to cork. Have you ever heard of Glover Machine Works? I can't say I have. All the DDA-40AXs, no DD-35 survived. There was only 3 all cabless for Southern Pacific. What would you recommend for an HO scale locomotive? If you're on a budget, probably a Walther's Trainline GP15. It's amazing how much the layout changed in the last 4 years. Well, yeah, I mean, if you watch old videos from, 4 or even 3 years ago, there's definitely a lot that has changed, especially with the 2-track system. So far, it's worked out very well. I'm very happy with it. You could build around the walls, keep the centers. Yep, that's a good point. Glover Machine Works works as George's little native steam builder. I have to check if any of their engines went to Canada. It's not impossible. Even on the local tourist railroad that used to be in the area, Even though the locomotive was imported from Sweden and it stayed in Canada since then, it would share a lot of parts with American machinists. They just had the equipment to actually build the parts for this thing, so whenever they needed replacement parts, they were usually getting it from Steamtown or the other one in Pennsylvania there. I'm just trying to remember the name of. It's another... It's just like Steamtown. I'm trying to remember the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. The one that had the accident a couple of years ago. Stratford, yeah, that's it. Yeah, they used to get the wheels machined for this at Stratford. Anyway, I think we'll call it a night. Thank you all so much for joining in this evening. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.